Well, joining us right now is Danny Wright. He is the CEO of D&D Aviation. Danny, thanks for being with us. And how exactly, or how specifically I should say, is the Obama administration hurting the aviation industry?
Good morning, John, and thank you for having me on the show. Basically, what we've all forgotten is that the industry is not built around simply the one percenters. There's a tremendous amount of other opportunities in the aviation industry that have been affected by this. In 1926, the aviation industry was basically generated to establish airways and things of that nature, but to encourage air commerce. People that operate corporate aircraft don't do so simply for their own personal use. They do so to enhance their business, to help their business grow. And today, our industry supports staggering large numbers of operations. Well, since the administration was elected 6 years ago, we have seen a steady decline in our industry. For example, in my own company, we've gone from 43 full-time employees to 10 full-time employees. We've watched the largest parking of corporate aircraft in aviation history. And we're looking for positive things to happen with the change in the administration over the last election.
Now, we've heard things from this administration, going back to your point here about, taxing people who take private planes from one place to the next here, but we associate that, a lot of folks do anyway, with the 1%, as you mentioned, but you're also talking about the folks who fill these planes up with fuel, the maintenance guys, the mechanics who work on these engines, the folks who work in the private plane terminals at the airports and customer service functions. Those are the people who have been the most negatively impacted by this administration. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. For example, after the re-election of the Obama administration at the last election, our company, lost from November the 15th to December 31st. We watched 61 corporate aviation departments shut down. Now, these were not aviation departments with simply one or two aircraft. These were corporate aviation departments with multiple aircraft, employing multiple people, literally ceased to exist. And doing so because of the drive or the alienation of the quote-unquote one percenters. And that, as I've said, is not truly what aviation's all about, especially corporate aviation. Corporate aviation is designed around the fact that we move customers, clients, owners of the businesses in the safest possible environment. We saw a growth in our industry after September 11th, because where else could the individual, the corporations, their chief and financial officers, their chief business officers, where would they be the safest? Safest would be on their corporate jet.
Danny, can I ask, sorry to jump in here, but I want to ask you, will the GOP takeover of the Senate, do you think, turn the tide? Or do you think we're going to have to wait until 2016 to see things change for the aviation industry?
We've actually started to see a slight change right now. An upturn in aircraft sales has started about 4 months ago. We have the largest number of corporate aircraft parked in the United States in history of the aviation industry. Now it is starting to turn around. Unfortunately, the asset values are far below the value of the actual aircraft. We're watching aircraft being sold today between 30 and 60 cents on the dollar.
Wow, that is certainly turbulent times in the airline industry, or the private plane industry as well. Danny Wright, thanks so much for being with us, CEO of D&D Aviation, talking about his personal story, his company very much affected by the policies of this administration in terms of private planes. Much more to come here on America's Forum. John Bachman sitting in for J.D. Hayward today, and we were talking about this issue here. That's a lot of employees to be lost at a time when we're supposed to be in an economic recovery.
Absolutely. I think the question here is how the GOP is going to have an effect on this. So
yeah, he's hoping that now the Republicans have control of the Senate and the House as they had control of, things will change. But we will see. We still have this president in the Oval Office. Can still veto a lot of things, so we'll see what comes up. Much more to come here on America's Forum. We'll be back after this commercial break. I'm John Bachman, Francesca Page. Stick around. Ed Berliner in Midpoint is coming up. Thanks for being with us here on America's Forum today.